Hey everyone, Aiden G here, back again, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Tyler, the Creator album, Call Me If You Get Lost. This is the 7th studio album from multi-talented singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, comedian, actor, creative genius, Tyler, the Creator. Tyler has been releasing music now for just over a decade with a wide variety in his discography, ranging from his harsh bars on the Odd Future tapes to his delightful melodies and breakup State of Mind on my favorite album of his, Igor. But with this new album, Tyler seems to be embracing his whole range of music and using it to create a new identity. It seems that Tyler has created a new character for every album he's made, and it's become a very notable trait of him as an artist. On Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler seems to be playing the role of Tyler Baudelaire, a lonely traveler who is traveling across God knows where to search for his long-lost love and experiencing troubles of heartbreak along the way. Based on what I've heard and read, this character seems to be based around Charles Baudelaire, who was a very famous French poet. He was famous for writing poetry that included themes about sex, depression, metamorphosis, lesbianism. So I guess thinking about it, there could be a lot of connection with this record to that, but I don't know, I'd have to think more about that later on. But anyway, Tyler has done a great job immersing this character into a new setting as well. Hearing the teaser Lumberjack and seeing all the music videos put together, it's almost like I'm watching a Wes Anderson movie that's just been jacked up by Tyler. And I think that's great because Tyler has really gotten the skill of creating a persistent storyline, especially throughout this new record. Sir Baudelaire is a great introduction to this album. Tyler seems to be establishing his character, describing the setting, and I think that's a great prompt for this storyline, which eventually leads into the track Corso. I think this is a great follow-up track as well. It's starting to showcase Tyler's skills in the old Odd Future days. He has a great rhythm and incredible flow, and then he also brings on DJ Drama, who is a pretty consistent character throughout this album. Great producer too. But I also think DJ Drama is a little bit overused throughout this whole record. On the track Corso, he is brought in so many times, and all I feel that he's doing really is interrupting Tyler's flow, and it kind of bothers me a little bit, but not too much. Overall, I still really enjoyed the track. Next are the tracks Lemonhead and Lumberjack. I thought these tracks are great. To say the least, they went hard. It's that simple. I think the production on both of these tracks is sick. Not only the grimy drums on Lumberjack, but also the pounding horns on Lemonhead. I think these tracks are really great in terms of performance as well. I think Tyler does a great job with his harsh vocals. I also feel like I can hear the adrenaline running through his voice. Rolls Royce pull up, black boy hop out, shout out to my mother and my father didn't pull out. I love the whole song, but that line especially just stands out to me. I think it's awesome. This type of flow definitely reminds me of the flow that Tyler had on his third album, Wolf. Really harsh, really grimy, not afraid to hold anything back. It's just harsh. I feel like straightforward is just the best way to describe it. Also, I thought 42 Doug was awesome on Lemonhead. I thought he really gave a great performance. I had never listened to 42 Doug before this track, and God, he made a great first impression on me. My only complaint about these tracks is that I wish they were just a little bit longer, especially Lemonhead. I feel like it gets cut off just a little too early. If it went on for maybe just an extra verse, then I feel like it really would have sold it, but I don't know, I feel like it just cuts. Between those two, we have the track WUSYANAME featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Youngboy Never Broke Again. I think this is definitely one of the best songs on the record. The bells, along with the drums, create such a groovy and romantic sound. I thought Ty Dolla $ign did a pretty good job as a background voice, but you know, he's just a background voice. He's not adding anything too special. But oh man, NBA Youngboy really pulled through here. He really surprised me. I listened to NBA Youngboy's stuff in the past, and I really thought he was not a good rapper at all. I thought he had no skill really whatsoever. I thought his flow was really rough. But then I hear this, and I'm kind of like, what happened to you? And honestly, I thought he was the real highlight of this track. Then we have Hot Wind Blows with Lil Wayne. Again, I really enjoyed this track as well. It's got a great vocal melody combined with this really nice flute riff. But again, I felt Lil Wayne's verse was really the highlight of this track. I thought Tyler was really good, but I thought Lil Wayne outperformed him like by a mile. I think this is one of my favorite verses on just the whole album too. I thought he was just a great choice for this track especially. After that, we have the tracks Masa and Manifesto. I felt these tracks were very similar. They almost sounded the same to me. But that doesn't mean I thought they were bad. I thought they were very good tracks in general. Tyler does a great job on them with his flow, keeping it very consistent, continuing on with this theme. I also thought Domo Genesis did a great job too. It's nice to see him and Tyler collabing again. When I heard Run It Up for the first time, I thought it was a pretty good hype track. Honestly, it feels like something that I would hear at the end of a movie when I find out the protagonist just screwed the villain. I love the hook on this track, especially with the sound of the crowd shouting the lyrics back to you. I'm kind of a sucker for that type of sound. Then we have what is probably my favorite track on this whole album, Sweet / I Thought You Wanted to Dance. Not only is this a great song in general, with great additions from Fauna Hughes and Brett Faiyaz, but it's also a great narrative as a whole. This story is essentially Tyler telling the audience about this girl that he fell in love with right away, how he loved her and cared for her and really wanted to be with her, and then we find out at the end of the story that she wanted something completely different and she just let him on, and boy, like what? There was never anything special? You're just gonna lead this guy on and then just leave? Like, okay, bye. Especially on such a lengthy track like this, it really shows how this can destroy someone's world after this happens so suddenly. Well done, Tyler. Well done. I thought that Mama Talk and Blessed were really cool interludes. They weren't too special to me, but I thought they were really fun to listen to, especially Mama Talk. That was really funny to hear. After that was Rise. I did enjoy Rise overall, and it's got a great flow from Tyler, but I feel like at this point in the record, we're so far in, it's kind of just getting a little lost. But I will say, the more I listen to it, the more it's starting to stand out to me. But overall, I think it is a pretty good track. Then we got another one of my favorite tracks on here. One of my favorite tracks probably ever from Tyler, Juggernaut. I only have one word for this track, gross. Tyler does not hold anything back on this. He just goes so deep into it, and his vocals are just so disgusting, but in a good way. I love how it starts with this soft intro and then hard cuts to this really gross verse. Then we got Uzi and Pharrell, who are freaking awesome on this track. I feel Uzi especially matches Tyler's energy, and all three of them work really well together. WILSHIRE is right after that, and that's another extended track and another story being told. Tyler seems to be clarifying everything he said in the record and recollecting all of his thoughts, trying to figure out what his true intentions are, almost as if he's asking himself, is this love really worth all the trouble? And again, same thing as Sweet / I Thought You Wanted to Dance. I thought the narrative was put together really well. I really enjoyed the structure of it. Definitely another one of the main highlights of this album for me. Finally, we have the last track, Safari. I thought this track was a very fun way to end the record. Definitely carries that final moment feeling. I really like the whole production and arrangement of this track, the pianos, the flutes, along with the pounding horns coming back. Honestly, a great song for Tyler to just end this record on. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 for this record. What can I say? I loved almost every track on this album. I see Call Me If You Get Lost as a project where Tyler took the best aspect of all of his records in the past, refined all of them, and combined them to create this masterpiece. I am excited for what Tyler has in store for us over the next few years, but I gotta say this was a really big step in his evolution as a true artist.